Good evening. As usual, Joanne is up and talking. Yeah. We love it. You are going to start learning a new song tonight. You didn't know that, but we're going to. As for me and my house, Joshua is my favorite guy, and this is my favorite verse, and this is now in song. So it's going to be projected. So we're going to learn together, and you're a little ahead because we may sing it next Sunday. So Joseph's waiting on me to start the song, okay? So let's stand and sing. You learned it? Okay. Let's welcome each other to the service.
Well, I hope you're doing well this evening. And as we get started tonight, we're going to take your prayer concerns. Let me ask you this. If you have not picked up one of the scorecards, Matthew has a whole stack in his hand and will bring one to you right now. So if you need a scorecard for tonight's game just to participate at your own leisure or your own level, you can do that. Matthew and Terry, do you have the rest? Terry has some. So let them hand those out to you. And we're going to start taking prayer concerns so that we can get those into the bulletin for next time. Here is the other part of getting that scorecard. Is that if you are interested in playing tonight's game up here on stage, we've got a clipboard and a pen up here for two people to play with us tonight. So we would love, Jessica would, is it Matt, did you say she would? Oh, Jerry, okay. So be thinking about that. If you're game for it, we'll see how it goes tonight. So be thinking about that because we need 2 volunteers and there's only like 30 of you here. So better be figuring out who's going on stage tonight. Prayer concerns to mention. Need to remember Jean Bellini. I talked to Janet before church this morning. Okay. I need somebody to come take prayer concerns for me. David. Well, I've got to send it to them because they send me that nice note that says no PowerPoint. So here, there's a piece of paper up there. So we were about to have no game time tonight. So they'll take care of that here in just a minute.
Alpha? Okay, remember Philip Taylor, he's going to be at College Pines for rehab. Others? Peggy? Diane Woodard? Surgery in the morning. Diane Woodard. Next Monday on the 31st. Others? Brenda? Someone else? Michael? Okay. Matthew? Anyone else? I'm sorry? Okay. 1970 Heart Cath and Ablation on Tuesday. Anyone else? Okay. Heart surgery for Brenda Roper on the 31st. Anyone else? Yeah. You got Herb on there. Dennis Siegel, can I continue to remember Dennis? Sheila Cheryl. Others? decide what they're gonna do. Anyone else? If not, I'll leave the list up here and hope he gets back quickly.
Yeah, like Patsy said, it's about time, right? We appreciate you working through the technical difficulties with us this evening to get to where we're at. So here is the way we're going to do this. First off, we need 2 volunteers, people that would be willing to come up and play tonight's game. So do we have any volunteers? All you got to do is write down your answer, and nobody will know the answer until we get done, okay? So we just need 2 volunteers for tonight, and tonight is about the books of the Bible. It's just trivia. And so you get to show everybody else in the congregation how much you know about the Bible. That's why you're sitting down there, right? So any volunteers? I see some looks of like I would, but I don't know about it. So come on, we just need 2 volunteers. Okay, come on, Miss Jackie. All right, so if you want an easy win tonight, come play against Jackie. Okay, that's fine. All right, that'll be fine. And here's you a clipboard and a pen to work with. Did they give you a piece of paper? David, will you grab one of the pieces of paper back there and bring that to, or you've got a pen? Yes. Yeah, it's a score sheet for tonight. All right, we need one other person to play against Jackie or with Jackie. And we'll even do this. We'll let you, rather than having to come up on stage, we'll let you sit down on the front row with her. Anyway, so we need one more volunteer. Come on now. You volunteer Rob. I don't think that's how that works. That's being voluntold. Come on, Scott. All right. Give a round of applause for our 2 participants tonight. Here is the clipboard, and do you need a piece of paper too? David, will you get one more? There you go. You were going to let Tanya do the work for you, right? So, all right. So, yes, this is just trivia about the Bible. If you want to sit up here, Scott, you can't copy her answers. That don't work that way. So, so tonight we have 20 questions, and you've got the score sheet in front of you. You may be sharing as a couple or as an individual doing it. And so here's how this is going to work. We're going to go through and we're going to ask 20 questions about the books of the Bible, okay? That's all tonight is. Next time it'll be, I think, places of the Bible. No, people of the Bible, places of the Bible, and then miracles in the Bible. And so this is just, testing your trivia to see what you know about tonight about the books of the Bible. When we get done, we're going to see who wins out of our 2 contestants, and then we'll see who has the best score out of our audience tonight. And then if there is a tie between our contestants, or maybe between a contestant and one of the people in the congregation, we've got 2 tiebreakers. The first one is pretty challenging. The second one, there's no way you'll get it nail on the head, so it's definitely a tiebreaker. So we're going to get started, and so now that Daryl has a PowerPoint that I rushedly put together in like 3 minutes, I hope that all the ones are correct. Here's your first question. How many books are there in the Bible? So while you're writing down your answer of how many books are in the Bible, that's not a trick question. None of these are trick questions. They're all straightforward. Some are going to be easy, some are going to be harder, some are going to be in between, but they don't go in any, they're just all random in that regard. You may get an easy one, then a hard one, and back and forth. So how many books are in the Bible? Question number 2, how many books are there in the Old Testament? How many books are in the Old Testament? And so if you knew the first one, and you know the second one, you'll know the answer to the third one. So the third question, Daryl, is how many books are there in the New Testament? And that's not a trick question like how many are books and how many are letters or anything like that. Everything is straightforward. All right, question number 4. Of the books in the New Testament, how many are considered to be letters or epistles? And out of the books in the New Testament that we have in the New Testament, how many are considered to be letters or epistles? We'll give you a second to count up or to do the math, to subtract if you need to. Now, for our folks that are watching at home that may not have one of our scorecards, you can just have a piece of paper and write down your answers on a piece of paper and test your Bible trivia knowledge against the ones that are sharing their answers tonight. Anyway. All right. Okay. So, question number 5. How many books of the Bible start with the designation 1, or as we oftentimes say, first? How many books of the Bible start with first blank, indicating that there is more than just one of those books? So how many have the designation of 1 or first? Without using your phone. That's the whole reason that we're testing. Oh, yeah. All right. Question number 6. How many books of the Bible start with the designation 3, or as we would say, third? So how many books of the Bible start with the designation of 3 or third? Right. Question number 7. How many letters in the English alphabet are not used to start the name of a book of the Bible? There are certain letters, that are not used. Now, I'll give you an example. Like the letter Q is not used. We know there's not a book of the Bible that starts with the letter Q, but there is a number of letters that are not used, and so this is one of the more challenging ones because you got to kind of think hard on that. So the answer is at least more than one. Let's go that route. All right. Question number 8. How many books are traditionally viewed as wisdom literature in the Old Testament? How many of the Old Testament books are typically considered wisdom literature? You don't have to name them, you just have to come up with the right number. Question number 9. How many different authors are believed to have written the books of the Bible? How many authors are believed to have written the totality of the Bible? That's not a trick question, and the answer isn't the Holy Spirit. It's not one. I'm just going to go ahead and answer you that. Somebody's going to say, but that's the answer, Pastor. I'm like, well, yeah, technically, but we're talking about human authors, I guess I should have said. So, how many authors are believed to have written the books of the Bible? Question number 10. How many continents were the books of the Bible written on? How many continents were the books of the Bible written on? That question was number 10. Question number 11. How many languages were used to complete the original copies of the Bible? The original books of the Bible. What were the language? How many languages were used to write the original books of the Bible? All right. Question number 12. One author is believed to have written more books of the Bible than any other. How many did he write? The one author who wrote the most books of the Bible, how many books did that individual write? All right. Question number 13. Who is that author? Who is the author who wrote more books of the Bible than any other author? All right. Number 14. Name one of the two authors. So you got two to pick from here. Name two of the authors who wrote 5 books of the Bible. One of the two authors who wrote. You just name one of them. So you just have to write one of them. But there were 2 authors. You just have to name one of them that wrote 5 books of the Bible. There were 2 that did that. All right, number 15. How many Old Testament books are named after what are typically considered minor prophets? How many minor prophets are there, the books of the minor prophets in the Old Testament? All right. You can guess where the next question is going. How many books are named after what are typically considered major prophets? The minor and major is just the length of the book is really what how that is sort of designated. But how many Old Testament books are named after the major prophets? So far, we've only had 2 questions, I believe, that were not numbers. So this is the next one that is not a number. Question number 17. What is the only book in the New Testament that is considered to be history? What is the New Testament book that is considered to be history? along that same sort of thought, what is the only book in the New Testament to be considered prophecy? So there's one book in the New Testament considered to be prophecy, foretelling future events, and one, as we looked at with the last question, retelling historical events in that last question. So number 18, what is the only book in the New Testament to be considered prophecy? All right, number 19. How many books in the Bible are named after women? How many books in the Bible are named after women? All right, the last question for tonight. How many books in the Bible are traditionally believed to have been written by women? How many books in the Bible are traditionally believed to have been written by women? All right. Now is the time for us to grade those scorecards that are in your hands. And so, question number 1. I'm going to ask Daryl. Okay, good job, Daryl. How many books of the Bible are there? 66. Good job. All right. Question number 2. How many books are there in the Old Testament? 39. That's correct. And if you do the math from 66 to 39, that gives you the answer for number 3. And there's how many in the New Testament? 27. That's correct. Question number 4. Of the books in the New Testament, how many are considered to be letters or epistles? Well, I think I heard somebody whispered it. 21. There are 21. Everywhere from Romans to Jude, excluding the Gospels and Acts and Revelation on the end there, there are 21 from Romans to Jude. So, question number 5. How many books of the Bible start with the designation one or first? How many do you think there are? That's question number 5. How many books of the Bible start as First Chronicles or First? How many? 8. That's correct. Samuel, Kings, Chronicles, Corinthians, Thessalonians, Timothy, Peter, and John. Now, how many books of the Bible start with the designation of 3 or third? Just 1. 3rd John. That is correct. Number 7, how many letters in the English alphabet are not used to start the name of a book of the Bible? What was your guess? 12? 9? The answer is actually 9. The letters B, F, Q, U, V, W, X, Y. I messed up. I counted Z in that. So it's actually 8. Sorry, Terry. It's 8. I'm sorry. It's 8. Because I counted Z in that just because I was on a roll after U, V, W, X, Y. So it's actually 8. So Z is Zephaniah, Zechariah, that sort of stuff. So the answer is 8. Question number 8. How many books are traditionally viewed as wisdom literature in the Old Testament? How many do you think? You got Proverbs, Psalms, Job, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Songs. So there are 5. Question number 9. How many different authors are believed to have written the books of the Bible? Any guesses? Did you say 40? There's 40. So 40 is the answer to number 9. 40 different authors. And how many continents did they write the books of the Bible How many continents did they write the books of the Bible on? 3. Letters written in Rome or in Macedonia are considered Europe. Asia is considered Asia Minor and into not just Turkey, but also in Israel. But then some of the writings would have taken place in Egypt, which would be Africa. So those are the 3 continents. Now, how many languages were used to complete the original books of the Bible? 3. Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. There's not a whole lot in Aramaic, but there are references written in Aramaic. Question number 12. One author is believed to have written more books of the Bible than any other. How many did he write? 13. The answer is 13. That is from Romans to Philemon. Question number 13. Who is that author? Paul. Question number 14. Name one of the 2 authors who wrote 5 books of the Bible. What were your guesses there? Moses and John. That's correct. Question number 15. How many Old Testament books are named after minor prophets? How many minor prophets are there? There's a dozen. There's 12. Hosea all the way to the end of the Old Testament with Malachi, or Malachi for our Italian friends, right? All right. Question number 16. How many of the Old Testament books are major prophets? Very close. Not 5, but 4. Daniel, Ezekiel, Isaiah, and Jeremiah. So there's 4 Old Testament major prophets. What is, number 17, what is the only book in the New Testament to be considered history? The book of Acts, that's correct. And on the flip side of that, what is the only book of the New Testament to be considered prophecy? Revelation, that's a good answer. Question number 19. How many books in the Bible are named after women? 2, and what are they? Esther and Ruth. All right. Number 20. How many books in the Bible are traditionally believed to have been written by women? This is still not a trick question, but it's a more challenging one. 0. Ruth is believed to have been written by Samuel, and Esther is believed to have been written either by Ezra or Nehemiah. And so let's start checking our scores here. So tally up your scores. Do what? Do what? So you see sort of the way that the questions will go in the weeks to come. Do what? We want to know how many you got right in just a moment. So once you're done adding yours up, write your score up there at the top of your page. And so for our 2 participants tonight, what were your scores? Scott? Jackie? 9 and 3. All right. Anybody have more than 9? All right. So anybody have more than 15? Anybody have more than 10? Keep your hand up if you did. Anybody have more than 11? Anybody have 12? Anybody have 13? How many did you have, Matt? 12? And David, you had 12? All right, so we do have a need for a tiebreaker, so that's awesome. So congratulations, guys. So here's your first tiebreaker, okay? Everybody can play along, but here is your first tiebreaker. What is the name given to the first 5 books of the Bible? It's not the Law of Moses. That's not the one we're looking for. It's the term that is off terms. There's actually 2 terms you could use that are typically used by the Jews to refer to those first 5 books of the Bible. There's 2 options there. There's 2 potential answers. All right. David, do you have an answer? All right. Matt, do you have an answer? No? Okay. Torah is one. That's correct. Or it could have been the Pentateuch. Those are two terms. A lot of times you hear it referred to as the Torah. So here is the last tiebreaker question. And the way this one would have been answered is the closest without going over. So let think for a second how many verses you think there are in the entire Bible. And we'll take 3 answers and see who's closest. Matt, what was your answer? Oh, sorry, dog. You used the internet. He's exactly, well, I had 31,102, not 103, but that's still that's close enough. You would have went over, see? So, but there's over 31,000 verses in the Bible. And so that is our study for tonight. I hope that you've learned some things about the Bible. Next time that we're together, we'll be talking, I'm trying to remember which one, I keep saying it wrong. But we'll be looking at the people in the Bible. And so this will be just trivia concerning the people of the Bible. And so some of those questions will be easy, some will be more difficult, and then some will hopefully lead us to a tiebreaker, and we can split those tiebreakers again. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for participating and being a part of it. Thank you to our contestants. Give them a round of applause. And so you guys did do what? You get there's a parting gift, I'm sure. I'll talk to Misty about it. And so Jackie said the only reason she played was she thought she was going to win something when she beat Scott. So, all right. Well, thank you again for being here this evening. And just a reminder, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, we'll be in our study of 1 Timothy. So I hope that you'll be here and be a part of that. Next Sunday morning, we will be looking at Mark's account of Jesus' time with not only Pilate, but also with Barabbas. And then next Sunday night, we'll be looking at trivia about people in the Bible. And so thank you again for being here tonight. I'm going to ask Darrell Wilson, if he would, to close us out with a word of prayer, and we'll be dismissed.